down.
No,
Put it down.
I'm not going to put it
At the
down.
moment, you're detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Members of the public have seen basically so much of the description, taking videos or pictures outside this protected building.
Hold on a second, hold on, I'm on the public willing to identify you.
Is guidelines for
Is your camera on? Is your camera on? And if I did have a problem with my account, then identify you. Yes, I have.
Can you get this one?
Alright then, so this intro, quick snippets of the video is quite long, just so you understand exactly what is happening and what is happening during this video. So, he was detained under Section 43. The grounds for detaining him under Section 43 is a member of the public has seen him recording outside of a building while he is on public. And then, while they're searching him, they find their notice, and notice what goes to them, about auditors, what they can and can't do, and what powers the police have and don't have. But yet, they still continue with the legal detainment. So, this is an update video, because there is an update to this incident, and it did take 2.5 years for that update. I did say, when these types of videos and there is an update, I will make an update. Unfortunately, a lot of people which get in these situations don't do anything about it, so there's never an update, and the ones who do something about it, it gets dragged out for forever. So this took 2.5 years and there is an update, but first let's have a recap on what actually happened.
Go on, mate. You just put your thing down.
No,
Put it down.
I'm not going to put it
At the
down.
moment, you're detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
You want to put it down?
What's the reason? Well, I'm not resisting, but what's the reason?
Okay, well, at
I'm
the
not
moment,
resisting, I'm filming you. Have you got your camera on? I'm filming you,
yeah,
mate.
the camera's on.
Okay.
You might want to put it down, else you're going to get that.
Alright then, let me put it down. Let me put it down then. Alright, let me put it down, okay. Okay, alright, take your time.
My name's Peter. I'm from the
Take your time.
Members of the public have seen basically so much of the description, taking videos or pictures outside this protected building.
Hold on a second, hold on, I'm on the public footpath.
Searching you.
Stop resisting. I'm not resisting.
You are. Let go of your hand then. Let go of it.
This,
Stop resisting and let go of it. Oh, there you go. It's not difficult, is it?
Okay then, so let's start with the Terrorism Act. So it is obviously the Terrorism Act of 2000, and it's searched under Section 43. Well, Section 43 is pretty simple. This act hasn't changed since 2012. So every single constable should be very aware on what this says.
1. A constable may stop and search a person whom he reasonably suspects to be a terrorist to discover whether he has in his possession anything which may constitute evidence that he is a terrorist.
So the rest is pretty irrelevant. It's just saying Section 41 if he's arrested and blah 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 blah. But the key thing in this is a person whom he reasonably suspects to be a terrorist. Now he must have reasonably suspected that he was a terrorist to search him under this section. And his grounds was a member of the public seen him filming. Now, there is, so the other thing as well is this letter here, which has been in place since August of 2010. So, for those what don't know, it's just telling police that there is no powers to detain okay, then it's not going to work. So it basically says there are no powers prohibiting the taking of photography, film, or digital images in a public place. Therefore, members of the public and press should not be prevented from doing so. Oh. It also says We acknowledge that citizen journalism is a feature of modern life, and the police officers are now photographed and filmed more than ever. Right? But not only is there this one, there is also this. Sorry. Which is actually very new, and they should know. This is for the police because the police was abusing their powers over and over and over and over and over again. So this is what they had to issue to their own police. So every single constable should have had this issued to them. There isn't blah 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 blah. But yeah, this, if you want to go through it, you can. But there's a few things in here which says that they shouldn't use Section 43 in the first place. Like this one here. Is it gonna work? No, it's not gonna work, so it's basically saying Section 43 of the Terrorism Act should be a last resort, and only when reasonable suspicion exists, you should consider other possible remedies such as the Antisocial Behaviour Act, if applicable. Sorry, this is real small on my screen. Don't know if it is for you. Yeah, if it's applicable. So they're saying don't use that as a first resort. Now this here is pretty important, this document, as this should have gone out to all police constables in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. But let's just get back into the video.
Hey. Okay. Certain person for anything or anything like that, okay?
So what? I can't film?
No.
Are you telling me that I can't film?
No, so film.
What do you mean it's protecting filming? This is a...
Yeah, if you want that.
That's your name, yeah?
What's your name? We doing video and taking photos stuff out of protected government buildings.
Where are you from?
Film police station.
Who? Children?
Film police station.
Customer? Constable who?
Customer.
Constable who?
Hello.
Afghan?
Sorry, you can go for it.
Who are you?
Just write the phone down there.
Oh, sorry.
One piece is sorry, I also can call them through.
You out today. Got anything on you? Calm myself and anyone else?
Have you got anything on you that could hurt even myself or my colleague? Any sharp items, any pointy items, any blades, anything like that? Look, I've asked you. Is there anything in your bag that's
Can I get a
pointy or
copy of the
blades?
search, yeah?
Yeah.
Today? Yeah?
Well, that one now from any station.
I want a paper search, yeah?
You want a paper
I
search?
want a paper search.
Oh, you want a paper slip? You got anything in your bag? Anything that you shouldn't have? Anything with sharp
Is this
blades?
for me as well?
Probably.
Yeah, Parliament diplomatic protection. And you're, like I said to you, yeah, but you're filming something outside government protection building. That's why it's not suspicion,
There's
right?
nothing suspicious about me. Yeah, come on, I'll let you show yourself through. I'll let you show yourself through.
Someone's on, right? Just hold his arm, just take his back.
These fucking really hurt me.
Well, you wouldn't keep on this start, I wouldn't have a problem with this.
Yes, they're on the top. So could you release them a little bit? There's no reason. Oh, you want to get no, seriously, it's hurting my arm. It's hurting my blood system. Seriously, with my arm, it's seriously hurting my right hand.
We'll loosen them in a bit, mate. They're not
Well, I can get 2 fingers through that, so that's adequate room. Well, they're not designed for context, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, you've got to do the people in Paris. Wow,
Hi, good morning, how are you doing? What's your name? Oh, not me, you're only just got home. Huh? You're going to ask how my mum is?
how's your mum? See you.
Don't like you, have to go check the bag again.
Well, I haven't asked you how long. So you're going to label us all the same bunch, are you? I'm not talking. I'm not talking.
He said it was a nice job you conversation starter.
I'm not talking.
Is that the case? Are you going to do
No, not at the moment. There's nothing in there.
I'm just going to have a
No, you can't touch that. Hold on a second. You can't touch my phone. You cannot touch my phone. It's illegal. Alright, then I'll just tell you. Alright, then, whatever. It's a civil case anyway. It's a civil case. You ain't got no grounds to search me.
So it's a civil case, so it's got nothing to do with criminality.
No,
So it's
a
not against
civil
the law.
suit on me for you guys. Because you guys are actually detaining me with no reasonable suspicion. No, you've got no reasonable suspicion. What? Because I'm filming a building.
I don't know what it is, well,
Well then, so walk away.
my colleagues obviously.
So you're part of the search, are you? To identify yourself? You're assisting. Assist me with your... How can I see you a soda when I've got my hand in front and I'm pointing in a different direction?
You've got eyes looking at me.
Can you...
looking at me.
Are
You've
you,
got on him
are you willing to identify yourself?
Is guidelines for
Your camera on? Is your camera on? And if I did have a problem with my account, would you then identify yourself? Yes, I have.
So at this point of the video, they found this on him. The whole lot. Now it's pretty clear what it says right at the beginning. Right at the beginning. That the guidelines, this here. I don't know if you can read it. But I am struggling because it is absolutely bloody tiny. And this doesn't want to work. Produced by the NCC should be used by the chief officer to share. Not to share. That's because I can't bloody see it. 1 second. See if I can make it bigger. What is it there? The guidelines produced by the NPCC should be used by chief officers to shape police responses to ensure that the public experience the level of service. This imperishable. So this here, as you can see, is clearly not for other people. It is issued to the police, for the police to understand. The funny thing is, this here highlights the things on here, like auditors, what auditors are, what they should do, what they should thingy, and it also gives them the other powers they should use before going to the Terrorism Act, like antisocial behaviour. We've already gone into this. It's basically saying, don't be a twat. Have a look what powers you've got before abusing the one which we actually need. And the reason the Section 44 was taken, because that one's abused just like Section 43 is. So don't be a twat and abuse that section. Use your noggin. And if you really believe that they're a terrorist, maybe you should contact the anti-terrorist group first or even says here under section 136 of the Mental Health Act, which we've seen used quite a lot of recently as well. We see antisocial behaviour used quite a lot, and we have seen section 43 die off because a lot of constables have seen this. But regardless about that, the big thing for me is that they have seen this. All they have to do is read it and understand that this is for them, which then means they should ought to know what they are doing is illegal and should stop immediately what they are doing because they don't have the grounds. But that's not what happens. So I believe a section 26 should now be in place. Now, I'm not going to go into a section 26 because I do go into it quite a lot, but it is quite simple. So just let this read out loud, and then there you go.
A police constable listed in subsection 3 commits an offence if he or she A. He exercises the powers and privileges of a constable improperly, and B. Knows or ought to know that the exercise is improper.
So, the fact that they are now exercising their powers and privileges of a constable improperly and ought to know that it is exercised improperly, because now they ought to know, they've read the guidelines right in front of them, so they've got no excuse. This should be implemented from this point, from the prolonged use of their powers. But let's get back into the video.
I think they sometimes give these out. They've seen stuff on the internet about auditors and 43 and stuff. They might have got that from guidance for them, so that they know
what they can and can't do.
Yeah. Did you get one? No.
Said you're going to do it in about 20 minutes.
If you give me your email address.
Sorry?
You're going to give me an email address? I'm going to give you one chance only, asking in the
Why it takes me to me?
Are you going to give me an email address?
I'm asking you for
Are you
my
going to
stop
give
and
me an
search
email
slip.
address? Yes
Can
or
I?
no?
Can I look? See, you've got a bit of paper, please. Can I have it on there? Thank you
We
very
need your
much.
details to fill it in though.
Thank you. No, actually, you don't, and all you need to do is just give me this slip. Thank you, and that's what you said.
I'll do it in the car.
Okay, and I'd like it before I go. Two and a half years later, I got notification from my solicitor, HNK, and the police have settled in the sum of £1,000.
So the update is, after 2.5 years, the police has settled for the sum of £1,000, which is absolutely disgraceful. Your civil rights and being accused of being a terrorist, because a terrorist act says they must believe that they must have reasonable suspicion to be a terrorist. So you are being accused of being a terrorist when they search you under the Terrorism Act. This type of behaviour is absolutely outrageous, and he only gets £1,000 for his inconvenience. The fact that they found the gardens for them, bear that in mind, it is for them. They're too stupid to realise it's for them. Continue ahead, even though one of the constables says, "Oh, have you seen the things online about us, section 43 in them?" So you understand that you've clearly seen it and you clearly know the outcome, but you still carried on. You still allowed all the other constables there to carry on for a measly £1,000. This is why the country is full of coppers what don't give a toss, because there is no repercussions for their behaviour. Now this, like I said earlier, every single one of those constables should be done for section 26 for abusing their powers, or ought to know that they're abusing their powers. And they all should be fired and sent to prison, because it's not acceptable. It's this type of behaviour why the people do not like the police. It's this type of behaviour what makes the few good uns out there, because I have seen a few videos with a few good constables what do the job properly, a bad name. And it's this type of behaviour that makes them ones get an attitude off the bat. Because this type of behaviour is shameful. And the police do nothing about it. They don't give a toss. A measly £1,000. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why? Because it doesn't affect the constables whatsoever. They have their own insurance, which is paid through taxpayers. That goes up. The taxpayer pays more on their insurance. It doesn't affect the constables at all. Now, what I've been saying for years is they should make it so each individual constable has to get their own insurance. And if they get sued, it affects their wages. And then, only then, will you see change. Because it'll get to a point where the insurer turns around and says, you're too much of a liability, we will not insure you. And if they can't get insured, they can't be on the streets. Now, like I have been saying in the last couple of videos, thank you to the members that will be on screen, and I've been on screen since the beginning of this rant. If you do want to become a member, click the join button down, pick what tier you want, and there is perks on there for the members. But everything in this video is your update, my opinions, and yeah, it's just my opinions. So let us know in the comments down